to fix this camera. There we go. If you guys are just joining me, go ahead and come into your easy seat. Before we get started, start collecting your energy, drawing your attention back inside of yourself. Closing the eyes, connecting to your own breath, taking the bridge from the physical body to the spirit. Just centering and grounding. Creating that safe space, that environment for healing and restoration, evolution, expansion to occur. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So forgive me this morning, I'm not feeling really great. Thankfully I don't have COVID. I did do the test and make sure, but just wanted you guys to be aware, like if I have to step away for a moment. The nice thing about doing online classes is we can teach when we're not feeling 100% without worrying about getting other people sick, but sometimes we have to step away or something of that nature. So if I do have to step away, I'll try to get you guys to a stopping point, and then you'll just have to come back into your own breath and settle into your own seat until I'm able to rejoin you again. Hopefully that won't happen, but I just want to prepare you guys just in the event that that does occur. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that was really cool awareness for me the other day. And I do a lot of research on the holistic type of work that I do, just because I like to actually follow a lot of the ways that my ancestors worked, just because I feel like that is a part of my DNA, my genetic makeup, that I can enter into that space really from a pure place, and I don't feel that I'm appropriating anybody else's culture or taking on anybody else's stuff and trying to take it on as mine. I'm really working from the who and what that I am. And one of the things that I read was a North Scandinavian page that I follow. I have a lot of Scandinavian blood. And it was talking about how vulva were the, I guess what you would call like, similar to like a druid or medicine person, right? And the vulva would access spirit with their voice. And they were talking about how a lot of other cultures will access spirit through like a drum or some kind of other vibrational frequency that they'll utilize to access that space. So we'll have like, drums, we have gongs, we have all different kinds of things that are vibrational frequency that we often utilize to take us closer to the spirit, right? We take it ourselves deeper into that connective place where the veil is a little thinner and we're able to feel into that energy a little bit more intensively. Vulva don't want to use anything outside of themselves. They only wanted to utilize their voice because they believed their voice was that thing. In fact, I'll read you a little bit of it just so you know what I'm talking about. Said that they wanted to they wanted, well, this article is talking about us relearning our forgotten skills of singing and using the voice, the chanting. The word enchantment actually comes from chanting because we're using those words like a spell to create a specific kind of outcome. We're focusing our attention on a specific way of doing things and expectation of a certain result to follow, right? And so it facilitates a trance state or a change of consciousness, which is similar to like how a drum works for people that use drum work to get into like that altered state of consciousness, right? So shamans and people who do different sorts of, who come from different backgrounds, they would perhaps use like a drum to enter into that altered state that takes them into that place where the veil is very thin. And we can still experience this. And so they want us to relearn the accessing of the voice and coming into like, they use like singing circles and things of that nature to access, which really to me, when I was thinking about that, I was like, that's exactly what we're doing in Kundalini. That's exactly what we're doing when we're in these classes when we're doing these kinds of things together. Even when we're not face to face, we're practicing separately sometimes. We're still opening up an energetic frequency that is connecting us, that's unifying us through that golden thread of connection that really steeps us deep into that place, and we're focusing our collective attention on a specific outcome. Because all of these kriyas, all of these meditations, all of these things are geared towards a specific energetic outcome that we're hoping to facilitate, right? So that is our way of stepping into our power and accessing the specific outcome. We're saying to the universe, this is what I want. I'm taking the action by utilizing my voice, shifting myself into a vibrational frequency that is in alignment with that thing that I want. And now I'm expecting the universe to draw that energy back into me. I honor the fact that I'm the magnet for the things that I bring back into my experience. Edgar Cayce says, sound will be the medicine of the future. And I know a lot of times when we're in these classes and we have to do mantras and chanting and things of that nature, it can feel a little uncomfortable at first. And we're under this circumstances of doing things separately right now. And that makes it really awesome because it gives us the opportunity to get into a comfort zone with doing these things on our own, so that when we do join a live class in the future, when we do have the ability to come together again, that we can access that space without feeling embarrassed, without criticizing ourselves, without judging our voice and our tone and all of these things. Your tone was made specifically for you because it's the most healing frequency, the most aligned frequency for your being. So to dishonor that, to be upset that you don't like the tone of your voice or you don't like the way you sound when you chant or the mantra or whatever, and that's what keeps you from doing it, you're really missing out on a huge opportunity to communicate with the universe. When I read that article and I was thinking about how it applies to this particular practice, it really made me realize probably a lot of why I love this practice, because I get the opportunity to engage in those things. For me, it is ancestral. Whether it is ancestral for you or not, it doesn't matter. You can still, this is still the most healing frequency. Some people just figured out that is such an amazing tool to use, and some people just haven't thought to use it, or they prefer other methods. But I think it's such a powerful, powerful tool, and if we can learn to really fully give ourselves over to it. And so what occurred to me while I was reading it, these vulva, when they would use their voice to connect to the spirit world, when they use their voice to connect and come into that place where the veil is thin, it was also about the way they felt when they were doing it. They weren't, sometimes when I do mantra, because I'm doing 1,000-day sadhana right now, and when you do these things, sometimes you can kind of just get to that point where you're just doing it. You're just going through the motions, and you're not really fully invested in it. We forget why we're doing the thing. You know what I'm saying? And it made me realize how important that feeling is, to really appreciate it as an opportunity to communicate with the universe, to be the magnet for the things we want to experience more of. The whole purpose of me doing the sadhana for 1,000 days is to fully ingrain it into my being, so that I can become aligned with that energy of that thing, so that I can take it into myself. I can allow it to integrate within my own being, alchemize this vessel and my energetic state of being to be in alignment with that frequency of the thing I want. So my sadhana is opening me up to a lot of abundance. It's opening me up to a whole new possibility, right? So there's purposes for different sadhanas. There's purposes for different meditations and kriyas. And we pick the ones that feel like we're drawn the most to it because it's what we need in that moment. And that's your heart's way of telling you, this is what I need. This is the frequency I want to be fully aligned with. This is the thing that I'm choosing, right? These kriyas and these meditations and stuff just give us a physical thing to connect to. It's not so much about, this is the only way I can access this thing. No, I can access that energy any way I choose to. These are just prepared for us. This is just an outline to say, hey, here's this stuff that you can choose from. If you're connected to any of this or you're attracted to any of this stuff, then you can choose to become aligned with it. You can, because this is already here for you. Until you get to that place where you already know what you want, you know how to access it within your own being, and you don't maybe need that mantra that is provided for you, and you can even create your own or do any of these things. That's a beautiful place. And that means that you're really listening to the voice that comes from within, and you know what actions to take. You know what choices you need to make that are going to facilitate that energetic connection or that open space for you better than even the provided stuff, right? But until we get comfortable doing that, we have this availability for the stuff that's provided. We have these opportunities to connect to specific energies. Also, it gives us a chance not to have to work so hard to do the work that's already been done. Why do I have to do the work if it's already been done for me? There's already this recipe that I can use to achieve this specific outcome, right? So that's essentially what we're doing. So if vibration and frequency are the real currency of life, we're all vibrational creatures, we're all created and composed of energy, then how do I access, how do I become the magnet for the thing? Through the vibration, through the frequency. What is the easiest way for me to access my own vibration or frequency? To speak, to sing, to chant. All of these kinds of things are putting me in alignment with the things that I want. And so when I'm doing the chanting, when I'm in the mantra, when I'm doing this stuff, and I'm telling you guys always, trying to tell you guys what do these things mean, because I want you to know what you're being the vibrational match for. If I ever forget, look it up. If it's something that attracted you, if it felt good while you were singing it and you don't know what it means, look it up. Because then that could also be, just because you don't, your mind doesn't know how to translate those words doesn't mean your soul space doesn't. Your soul space has infinite knowledge and ability to connect to that well of abundance of energy and knowledge and everything that exists, that universal well of knowledge. So trust yourself, trust what you're attracted to, look up the things, do the homework, figure out what it is that you need, what am I attracted to, using the mantra. So we're going to be using a mantra today during our practice. And, while you're in your mantra, before we get started with that particular part of our Kriya today, I'm going to tell you what it means. And I just want you to think about that. I want you to feel into it. And as you're singing the mantra, in your own space, we don't have to worry about being heard or seen or anything right now. Just really deeply connect to whatever part of it really, you feel it in your heart, and allow that feeling to get really big. Feel into that opportunity to connect to the universe. When we are reciting mantra, when we speak, when we use words, we are communicating to the universe the energy that we want to experience more of. Use this very, very, very powerful tool, this very, very, very powerful gift to be very specific and conscious about what you are attracting back into your experience. So really keeping that in mind today. Feel it grow in your heart space while you're in the mantra. Use your opportunity fully and completely to communicate that to the universe. We're not just saying things. We are vibrating that energy. And if you can't feel it while you're speaking it or singing it, it's not going to have half the power. That feeling is the catapult that really presses that energy out into the universe and allows it to be seen, to be experienced, right? So really trying to be fully present. Really think about this, guys. Like, it is such an amazing gift, and I really, really want you guys to think about that. Like, how do I use that tool for my own experience when I'm speaking, when I'm singing, when I'm in mantra, when I'm chanting, when I'm doing stuff? What am I choosing? Do I have a daily practice that I am engaging in that is really establishing a specific kind of tone in my life? Or am I just allowing myself to be subject to the energy around me because I'm not establishing my own vibrational frequency in a way that is drawing me towards the things that I want to experience more of? Am I just allowing the universe to kind of like push and pull me around by, getting caught up in the energy that's overriding my energetic tone because I'm not establishing one. I'm not choosing to establish my vibration. I'm not choosing anything. I'm just allowing all the things around me to suck me in. So I just really want you guys to think about, how do you communicate with the universe? How do I use the tool of my voice? Am I using it in a way to really establish a tone that is bringing more of the energy into my life that I want to experience? Or am I not utilizing it at all? Or am I using it in a way that isn't bringing energy into my life experience that isn't of the quality that I want? So let's go ahead and get started today. And we're doing a Kriya that is for becoming crystal clear. So part of why I chose this Kriya is so that we're becoming crystal clear with our message. We're eradicating all of this stuff that would sully or dirty the filter of our experience. And we're becoming crystal clear energetically. We're getting rid of all the stuff that's not serving us, all the stuff that's not ours, all the social programs, all the dogma, all the old stories, and all of that junk that's not ours, so that we can become crystal clear. Really clear in our energetic being, really clear in our expression of our being, really clear as in what we're communicating to the universe. So I really like this mantra or this particular exercise. We are going to finish it at the end with mantra, and I sent you guys that are practicing the link for that. And for those of you who will be practicing in the future, there will be a link attached to this particular exercise that you can utilize to listen, because it's easier than playing it over a speaker, I feel like. So let's just start by grounding into our easy seat and collecting ourselves and collecting our energy. And just coming along through the spine, dropping the shoulders back and down, already feeling your energy beginning to shift just by opening up the safe space on your mat. Find your breath. As I said before, that bridge that takes us from the physical body back to the spirit. Just drawing the mind away from any of the distractions and any of the things that it would like to occupy your time with, and draw that attention back to yourself, back to your breath. Every inhalation, every exhalation, feeling into the body and taking note of who and what you feel today. Who are you today? What do you feel today? Taking that internal stock, self-awareness, your own being. Crown of the head is shining into the skies, the heart space is radiating forward. And just allow that heart space, that radiation to grow, to expand, fully take up all of the space that it wants to. Just giving it free rein in this safe space on your mat. Totally open to receive. Trusting in your own ability to keep all of those things that aren't meant for you outside of that space. I'm just starting to rub the hands together pretty briskly, creating that friction until you feel that heat between those palms of the hands, unifying the energies of prana and prana. And then tucking those thumbs into the breastbone, that special magical space that releases those calming energies into your being, physical and energetic. We're going to tune in with our own Namo Gurudev Namo. Tuning into those higher aspects of our being, tuning into your own intuition, the voice in your soul space. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully and completely. Inhaling to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply, suspending the breath. Apply your root block to the bottom. Exhale, releasing the breath, releasing the lock. We're going to go into the Mangala charm, creating that safe space on our mat, giving ourselves that comfort to really establish our vibrational frequency, to root to ground, to relax. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhaling to begin. Adgure Name, Jigadgure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Adgure Name, Jigadgure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Adgure Name, Jigadgure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Inhaling deeply. Suspending the breath at the top. Apply root lock if it's within your practice. If you're not pregnant or on a moon cycle or having any untreated hypertension or anything of that nature. Exhale. Release the breath. Release the lock. Placing the hands down onto knees. Gently allowing those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. And we're going to start just by warming up just a little bit before we get started here. So just remaining in that grounded, easy seat. We're going to inhale, draw the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, release the shoulders down. And you can really just drop those shoulders. Doesn't have to be a controlled movement. And as you drop those shoulders, it really does shake the body a little bit, which just releases, shaking loose any of those energies that are no longer serving you and allowing them to fall into the earth. Mother Earth, Pachamama can take them and shift them into those new life-affirming energies. Release those shoulders down. Inhale deeply. Suspending the breath, apply the root lock. Exhale, release the lock, release the breath. We're going to take those arms up. Palms of the hands are going to come forward. Those tops of the arms, biceps are going to be parallel to the earth. Hands are going to be straight forward. We're going to inhale, twist to the left. Exhale, twist to the right. If your spine is compromised in any way, you can visualize yourself doing this movement. Otherwise, if you're feeling comfortable, you're not pressing into pain, tingling your numbness, and this feels really good and safe, you can take that movement a little bit deeper with every twist. Taking it as deep as feels safe. Inhale back to center. Suspend the breath, apply the root log if it's within your practice. Keeping those hands in the air. Exhale, release the breath, release the lock. Inhale, drawing the arms up at a 60-degree angle, taking those fingertips, planting them into the pads of the hands. Thumbs are directly pointed up into the sky, plugging yourself into that universal energy, that universal well of all knowledge. And we're going to begin that breath of fire, pumping that navel in and out, forcing the breath in and out through the nostrils. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And then inhale to begin. This breath of fire is awesome for burning off all of the stuff that's no longer serving you. It's great for cleansing the lungs, really clearing out all of that stagnant air or prana that might exist in the lung space. Really, really awesome for detoxification. So when you're not feeling good like I am, this is a great breath to practice to really cleanse the body, cleanse the prana, cleanse the oxygen within your own being. Inhale, draw those arms overhead, taking the thumbs to touch at the top. Suspending the breath at the top. Applying your root up. And then exhale really nice and slow whenever you're ready. Allow those fingertips to shower down around you, just feeling into the energy, just drawing that energy of the divine, the universal well of knowledge and every energy that exists, all possibility. Shower your own energetic being with that energy, feeling it infusing into your own being, opening yourself up to that new energetic space as you allow those fingertips to find the earth. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale completely through the mouth a couple times. And then dropping those hands onto the knees, gently allowing those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. We're going to begin that Kriya for becoming crystal clear. And so for this first one, we're going to be in a seated posture. So we're going to bring the arms out to the sides, parallel to the ground, just like so, but the palms of the hands are going to be directly forward. And the thumbs are not necessarily lifted up into the sky, just drawn into alignment with the rest of your fingers, okay? And we're just going to begin to alternately bring the palms into the chest, and we're going to stop about 2 to 3 inches away from the heart space. And as you do this, you're going to kind of like automatically come into a breath of fire type breath. And that's exactly what we want to happen. So beginning on the left side is inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Close the eyes, draw the attention inward and upward towards the third eye space, towards that brow point, allowing that breath to fuel that intuition. Really allow yourself to be in connection with the truth of your own being. And you're going to be here for a little bit. We're going to be here for 6.5 minutes. So take that movement at a pace that can be sustained for you for this length of practice. You're already about 30 seconds in, so you only have 6 minutes left. So just continuing on with that breath and that movement. Allow yourself to get lost in that breath work. When those arms start to feel tired, if they feel tired at all, you may find that they don't, which is amazing. But if you do at all feel tired, just ask for assistance from the spirits that are here to support you, that are here to lift you from the universe. Ask that universal energy to lift you up, to support you, to meet you in your desire, to draw your energy towards the alignment of what best serves you. And remembering that when we do feel tired in any of these postures, it's because our body needs it. So we're really building that energetic space up. We're giving ourselves the ability to hold more space, strengthening and refining the energy that exists within that place, whether it be your shoulders, your arms. So we're just taking note of that discomfort, that desire to stop, and feeling yourself infusing it with that universal energy that you're drawing into your hands and collecting into your heart space. Press it into your chest, that new prana, that new life, and shift it into those places where you're feeling tired, where you're feeling that resistance, where you're perhaps feeling the tension. Just shift that energy into that space mentally, visualizing that space radiating with that new life, that new prana that you're collecting in your hands and drawing into your heart space. Just really focusing on that energy that you're collecting from the universe that exists around you right now. Imagine that we're pulling that pranic energy with each movement, feeling our being becoming stronger, becoming more enlivened every single time you draw those hands in towards the chest. Moving at your own pace. Slow it down a little bit if you need to sustain you through the rest of your practice. You only have about 2.5 minutes left, so you're doing so good. Resisting that urge to quit. It would be so much easier to quit. But tapping into that strength, that grit, your ability to hold more space than you think you can, your ability to push farther than you think you could, tapping into the depths of your strength. Really fully expressing to the universe what you want. Being willing to experience a little bit of discomfort to get it. Bigger than the discomfort. Bigger than the tiredness. Focus your attention on the breath. Focusing on the third eye. Just a little bit longer. Just a tiny bit more than a minute now. You can do anything for another minute. The mind is going to panic. The mind is going to tell you you can't. This is where we override the mind, we master the mind, and we show the mind through our determination what we want and what we're willing to do to draw ourselves into alignment with that desire. Only 30 more seconds here. These might be the creatives that test us the most. They are also the ones that bring the most intensive rewards. Four, three, two, one. Open those arms up. Inhale deeply, suspend the breath. Keep those arms up and lifted. Exhale, release the arms, release the breath, release the lock. Shake out those arms if you need to. Shake the hands out overhead. Shake them down low. Rotate through those shoulders if you need to. Do whatever it is that you need to do to just release that tension in those arms and that upper body from that last exercise. Take a couple deep breaths. And close your eyes. And just feeling into your energetic being. What is the quality of your energy? What's happening in your physical body? What's happening in your energetic being? Not becoming attached to it or telling a story about it, just witnessing it, observing it. Allow that energy to move through you. Gently opening the eyes up whenever you're ready. We're going to take those elbows about in alignment with our rib cage, but not tucked into our rib cage. They're going to be drawn away from the rib cage about 6 inches each. Hands are going to come out just like so. Palms of the hands are going to be faced towards each other. And we're going to take the hands in towards one another like a clapping motion, but we're not going to touch the hands together. So we're going to stop just before the hands would touch. So you take the hands back out. Just like this. Closing those eyes, drawing your attention, your awareness back inside, up towards the brow point center. Feeling that energy radiating in the center of the forehead, really empowering your being, charging that energy as we pulse those hands towards each other. Feel into the quality of the energy between those hands. You can even visualize it here, like a beautiful golden ball. You're only going to be here for 2.5 minutes. Really forcefully moving those hands, but also with an equal amount of control because we're not letting them touch. So really forcefully clapping those hands towards each other, but not allowing them to find each other. Clearing out our energy, detoxifying the energy of our vibration, of our energetic state of being. Just continuing on. Got about 1.5 minutes left here. We're really building our life force energy with these movements. So moving as forcefully as we can so that we're really building that energy. Creating as much of that prana within our own being. That prana is that life force energy, that vital life force. that exists within each of us. It is in our best interest to have as much prana within our own being as possible. We're building our ability to live and exist and give from the overflow, that prana. The more prana we build, the more we have to give, because the more it ends up in that overflow of energy that we're not necessarily utilizing for ourselves, we can send out to the rest of the world. You only have about 20 seconds left here. Open up those hands, inhale deeply, suspending the breath, apply your root lock. Exhale, release the breath, release the hands, release the lock. Take a couple deep breaths. Next, we're going to come into a practice where an exercise, where the hands so angled forward, not flat. Take them up about 60 degrees, The palms of the hands are going to be facing forward. Fingers are all kind of connected towards one another. We're just on the exhale going to drop those hands towards the earth, just like this. Like you're bouncing a ball almost. And we're really just sending that energy to the earth. We're connecting to that earth energy through this movement. And it really does become like a breath of fire here. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Closing the eyes, drawing the attention, the awareness back inside. You're only going to be here for a few more seconds. Crystal clear energy. Inhale with those hands up. Suspending the breath, applying the root lock. Feeling that quality of the energy all around you in those hands as we bounce that energy towards the earth. Exhale, release the breath, release the hands, release the lock. Keeping the eyes closed, take a couple deep breaths. Just taking note of your energetic quality. So this next posture is also a little bit more challenging. If you have a compromised neck, you might want to put a pillow under your head or do whatever it is that you need to kind of like ensure your comfort in this posture. So really be sure to listen to your body and to do what you need to modify this posture so that it's most comfortable and safe for you. And I'm going to tell you a couple different modifications before we really truly get started, because you're going to be here for 6.5 minutes, and that's quite a long time. So you want to ensure that it's a posture that you can maintain and that actually feels safe on your body. Okay. So we're going to come down onto our back. And the full posture, the way that this exercise is described, actually is to press into your belly, into your abdomen here, just over your pubic bone, like right into that soft part of your belly. Excuse me, my microphone's going. But if you have a compromised spine and you want to protect your lower spine, because we always ensure that that lower spine is pressed fully into the earth and not lifted away from it. If you need to take the hands underneath the glutes, tuck them underneath, then that's perfectly okay too. Just visualizing that pressure in the abdomen, visualizing that energy in that space. Because what we're going to do is We're going to inhale and lift those heels away from the earth about 6 inches and just hold ourselves in this space. Now, if you can't keep those heels away from the earth, you can take one heel, gently rest that leg into the mat, and lift up through the other heel. And then as that leg gets tired, you can switch legs. So just alternate throughout the practice. So just listen to your body and take whatever version of that posture you feel like you can sustain. Even if you think you can start out in the fullest expression and then you need to come into a modified posture, that's totally okay too. Just do what you need to here. The full expression of the posture is to press the belly with the hands just in that soft spot of the belly, putting that pressure there in that second chakra, that sacral chakra, and then lifting the heels away from the mat. But protect your body in whatever way you need to. If you need to place the hands under the glutes, if you need to lift one leg and then the other. So go ahead and come into that posture and long deep breath. Just feeling into your divinity, feeling into that energy of the divine that is manifesting through you as its humanity, its opportunity to experience, to evolve, to grow, to expand. And just fully surrendering to your ability to do that, remembering that to be limited is not a desirable thing. Limiting ourselves with our thoughts, limiting ourselves with our past, limiting ourselves with social programs and all of this stuff that's not ours. Removing those limitations and trusting fully and completely in your own heart space, remembering that that part of your being, that heart space, that expression of divinity manifesting as humanity is totally trustworthy, even in its humanness, even in its imperfection. That part of us that is divinity is perfect always. And we can trust in that space. We can trust in that desire of the heart. You can trust in your own being. We're not trusting in the old social programs and the belief systems that were created outside of ourselves. We're trusting in the soul space, the divine expression of your own being. Really inviting that space to come forward as you're laying here on your mat in this posture, with those heels elevated away from the earth. Long deep breath, following the breath. You can always use that mantra set on to keep your focus if you need to. If you find that your mind is wandering, if you find that your mind is trying to tell you a story about the posture, to focus on the discomfort, then use the mantra set on the inhale, non on the exhale. The louder the mind becomes, the louder that voice, that desire to leave posture becomes, the louder the mantra becomes. The set on, focusing on that space, focusing on the breath. I am truth. Truth is my name. Truth is my identity. You're already 3 minutes in, so you only have 3.5 more minutes to go. And remembering that even if you can't keep those heels away from the earth, there's some things within your practice today that just isn't allowing you to draw those heels up away from the mat. Visualizing yourself in the posture, visualizing the body responding energetically, opening yourself up to the experience that way. Remembering how powerful that mind is. And recognizing that the mind doesn't know the difference. And whether we're doing it or whether we're visualizing it, the experience is the same. recognizing the discomfort of the postures is burning away all of those things that are not serving us, old dogma. Really allowing the energy of our own being to become crystal clear, to really focus on just the soul space, clarity of the soul. You only have 1.5 minutes left. So really digging deep. Remembering your strength. Only 30 more seconds. Really tapping into your strength now. Mastering the mind. Pushing through. Remembering the quality of your being. Not the stories of what people told you are, who you told yourself you are, what you're not capable of. This is our time to prove to ourselves just how strong we are, just how much grit we have, just how much ability we have to choose the thing and to fully embody the things that we want. Inhale deeply, suspending the breath, apply your root lock, keeping those heels elevated for just one more moment. Exhale, release the breath, release the lock, release the heels slowly and gently, allowing them to find the earth. Take a couple deep breaths as you allow those feet to fall to the side. Take those hands away from the belly or out from underneath those glutes. Allow yourself to just rest in this prone posture and just find your breath. Pulling the knees into the belly if you need to here, just shifting that body side to side or back and forth. Just releasing any of that tension or pressure that you may have experienced in that lower spine from that exercise. Cradling yourself, keeping those knees tucked into the chest, and then removing those knees away. Allowing the legs to find the mat. Whenever you're ready, just come back into your own being. Draw your attention back inside. And as you lay here, I'm going to just read for you that mantra that we're going to be utilizing for this next part of our posture. You're going to be laying in your Shavasana pose, that corpse pose. And we're going to be listening to, if you've already got it set up. If you don't, you can go ahead and get it set up and ready to play when it's time. And it's called The Blessing by Sangit Kaur Khalsa. And it's really called Dan Dan Ram Das Guru. And so this is a widely known blessing for protection and healing in times of deep trouble, which we're kind of experiencing some of those things, generally in the world around us. And this is a way that we can kind of help ground and recenter that energy to be the anchor for the kind of energy that is the blessing, that is the protection, that is the healing. So we're really anchoring that energy into this time and space by drawing it into our own being and sharing that overflow of energy. So the mantra is Dan Dan Ramdas Guru Jin Sarai Tanai Savarai Pori Hoe Kamat Ap Saranjari Dahari Sikh Ati Sanghi Harab Kar Namaskari Atal Ataho Atol Atu Tyra Ant Na Pavarya Jinni Tu Sabaya Bayo Kar Sai Tu Par Utarya Lab Lab Kam Krod Moho Mar Karahe Tu Sapavare Dan Su Tara Tan Hai Sach Tarai Haskarai Nan Nan Tu Lahai Tu Hai Gur Amar Tu Vacharai Gur Datai Taman Sadarai. And what that means is honored and praised is Guru Ram Das, the Lord who created you. He has adorned and embellished you. Perfect is the miracle of your making. Creator himself has installed you on the throne. Your Sikhs, all the Sangha, bow and revere you as the Supreme Lord. You are unshakable, unfathomable, immeasurable. Your extent is beyond limit. They who serve you with love, they are carried across the world ocean by you. Greed, attachment, lust, anger, and ego, these five passions, have been beaten down and driven out by you. Honored is your place, true are your bounties. You are Nankanagad, you are Guru Amaradas. So do I recognize you. Seeing the Guru, my soul is sustained. It is a really beautiful mantra, and it's just a beautiful blessing for protection and healing. So we're really drawing in those energies of protection and healing. It's really putting us into the alignment of divinity, that we're honoring the divine energy that exists within our own being, that source, God, creator, however you choose to look at it, that energy of your own being, whether it be yourself, whatever it is. We're really connecting to those energies. So it's a mantra for miracles, where the impossible becomes possible. When life seems stuck, we're opening up new space. It's the realm of the heart, the neutral mind, where all things become pure. When things seem hopeless, this brings hope into the world. So that's what we're focusing on here. For the first part of this mantra, you're just going to listen for about 6 minutes. For the second part, you're going to do your best to sing along when you can. You're not going to be expected to just sing it all. You know, we just do our best and we sing as we can, and whatever comes, comes. And that's perfectly fine. So go ahead and prepare that playlist, get it started. And you're going to be here in that posture for 6 minutes. Totally prone in your corpse pose, relaxed into the earth, just listening to that mantra. This mantra brings miraculous intervention. Takes away your fears of the future, which you've created by your subconscious memories of the past. It will draw you to your heart center. just listening. And now for another 5 minutes, just gonna be here listening to the song and just doing your best to sing along when you can. Remembering that it doesn't have to be perfect. It's all about the intention. Inviting those miraculous opportunities to come forth. And changing the unfathomable, immeasurable, no end or limitation. Connecting you to the realm of the heart, the neutral mind, where all things become pure. The power of life in the words of this mantra are focused for prayerful intention. Focusing on the power of the navel, life force center. Just a couple more minutes. Moving our fear of the future, releasing the subconscious memories of the past, drawing yourself even closer to your heart center. Opening up our life experiences universe to miraculous intervention, relieving that energy of hopelessness. Inhale deeply, suspending the breath, applying the root lock, sealing the energy of that experience into our being, allowing it to alchemize, to shift, to transmute, transform, refine, purify. Exhale, release the breath, release the lock. You can turn off the mantra if you like, or you can allow it to continue to play while you lie here in your spinal Shavasana, just totally relaxed into the earth, focusing on the breath. Every exhalation, feeling the body sinking deeper into the earth, and on every inhalation, allowing the earth to rise up to meet you, to nurture you, to sustain, support. Remembering that you're never alone. Invoking those universal energies of life to assist you, to be the tools that allow you to engage in this time and place, to be present. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. St. John's Gospel, chapter 1, verse 1. Many spiritual traditions speak of sound as being the formative force of creation. Before focusing on current research into sound healing, let us consider the vital role sound may have played in structuring our universe and utilizing that knowledge to co-create and manifest into our own vital experience the energies that we want to experience more of, accepting and honoring the role of co-creator manifester, that divinity expressing itself through our humanity, taking responsibility for the energy that we contribute to this time and space by focusing on the way that we utilize the word, the way that we speak things into existence, the way that we focus our attention through our mantra, through our prayers, through our words, our daily conversations, the self-talk that we allow to happen within our own mind, within our own being, ensuring that the quality of all of those things are in alignment with the energy we want to experience more of. More of the beauty, more of the good, more of the abundance, more of the light. And then allowing, as we build up that pranic energy within our own being that is of the quality of those things, that whatever overflows from outside of us into this time and space, that energy that we are contributing to the universe as it is existing around us, is why we're here, it's what we agreed to. We're contributing to this time and space because it's the most powerful, the most that we can possibly offer is now in this moment. How am I focusing my attention through my expressive energies of the word? creative life force, invisible, but highly structured sound, can travel wherever matter is dense enough to allow atoms or molecules to collide with each other. It is this process of collision that provides a clear definition of sound, passing on vibrational data at the moment of collision between any two atoms or molecules. Sound not only structured our universe, it may have been at work in the Earth's primordial oceans. How are you contributing to the co-creation of this time and space? And don't be afraid or embarrassed to use that mantra, to use the song, to use the voice to uplift, to inspire, to offer hope. Whether you do it at home, on your own, connecting and communicating with the universe. Slowly and gently beginning to wake the body up, drawing your attention back into your physical being, becoming aware of the body as it lays in the earth. All of those places of contact from the body to the mat, and just gently becoming aware of the movement of your own being, the rise and fall of the belly with the breath. Taking the gentle intentional movements of wiggling the fingers and toes whenever you're ready. Wrapping the hands around the wrists or the feet around the ankles if you wish. Cat stretches or movements that allow you to facilitate the awakening of your own being. Drawing knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. Rocking and rolling upward into a comfortable seated posture whenever you're ready. Rolling up and down on that spine, pressing that spinal fluid into all of those nooks and crannies of the spine, manually pressing it because there's no pump for that space. Rocking and rolling on that spine is one of the most effective ways you can move that spinal fluid into all of those places and nourish your spine. Coming into that upright posture, finishing off our practice today with 3 long set noms, drawing the thumbs into the heart space, hands in prayer pose. Long in the spine, chest is lifted. Inhale to begin. Inhale deeply, suspending the breath while you're locked. Exhale, releasing the lock, releasing the breath. Sat Nam. Namaste. The divinity, the light within me, that beautiful source energy that exists within each and every one of us and connects us to one another. I honor that energy within you, that connection that I have to you and every other living thing in this time and space. Such deep gratitude for our ability to commune with one another, even in these times where we're not allowed, or it's not easy for us to meet in person. I guess I'll say, excuse that phrase. And to really just still be able to connect energetically and to really be able to focus our attention collectively on those energies we want to co-create more of, shifting this time and space, opening up new possibilities for hope and inspiration and levity and light. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Remembering, even if you don't know what mantra to utilize, you can always just use that mantra, Sat Nam. I am truth. Truth is my name. Truth is my identity. I'm connecting to those higher aspects of my own being. Sat Nam is one of the most powerful mantras that we can ever use. So if it's as simple as the Satnam, then that is just as powerful as anything else. And just remembering to look for the things that the heart is drawn to. Be intentional. Utilize your own prayer. Be willing to create from that space within the depth of your own heart, expressing the desire of that place to open our life and experience up to more beauty. So I hope y'all have a great day. Thank you for bearing with me today. And fortunately, I did not have to run off, so it was perfect. And I will look forward to seeing you guys later. Have a good one.